it's basically a capacity building program. So when we went to Kenya, my home country, and we asked for technology partners and system integrators to raise their hands up and say, hey, who wants to be Mojaloop fluent? KPMG raised their hand and says, us please. And I remember looking to my colleague and saying, KPMG, the KPMG I know. And when we reached out to them, they were like, yes, us, we want to be part of the Accelerator program. So for some time now, we've had participants from KPMG East Africa, based in Kenya, who have been part of the Mojaloop Accelerator program running in Kenya. And they've done a lot of great work. Many of you are familiar with KPMG and the work that they do. So it is very exciting for me to introduce the team from KPMG. Tulo, my colleague, will introduce them. So I'll invite Tulo up on stage, and then Tulo can introduce the team, and they can let us know their experience and showcase what they've been working on over the last few weeks and months. Tulo?
Good morning. Give me the slides, please. So we are going to go through an Accelerator project demo, but before we do that, I'll do a quick update on the progress of the Accelerator program. So ideally, just a recap, the Accelerator program aims to give hands-on experience, expertise to systems integrators so that they can serve the market, all in our effort to build sovereignty. So we would want to have every market that's adopting to have enough expertise locally, which goes to reducing the costs and also providing a faster service. Since the last community meeting physical in March this year, we have been in 4 countries, Kenya, South Sudan, Togo, and the Gambia, running Accelerator program. We have more than 12 systems integrators going through the training. You're going to see one of them. And one of the things we have found very interesting is that increasingly DFSPs are coming into our training program. So we are surprised that you have the banks, the fintechs, the microfinance coming in and also undertaking the program, which is part of the evolution. The other thing about the systems integrators, as you will see from the demo, for a long time it was focused on building the product. Now the projects they're choosing to do are more geared towards taking the product to the market, real market applications with real life use cases implementation. And so for our demo, we are going to invite Brian and Dennis, both from KPMG. Please come up, guys. And they'll take us through a demo of what they have been working on as part of their project to be able to complete the Accelerator program.
Yeah, good morning, guys. So my name is Brian. We have Dennis from the KPMG team. And yes, we not only do audit, we also do system development, integration, with KPMG being one of our biggest clients are the banks and the DFSPs. So it's a market that once we had discussions with Tulo and the Mojaloop team, we found that it's in order for us to join this market for system integration, and then we found real life use cases for Mojaloop that we can use for our system. So in terms of even money transfers, I know here people maybe may think of just maybe P2P transfer. How can I send money from person A to person B with the least amount of maybe transaction charges? But there are also real life use cases. So we took a social course in terms of money transfer. It's a real case scenario that we've implemented in terms of how does, for example, government disburse scholarship money to their students, or maybe as for us, how does NGO disburse some money to their beneficiaries in their day-to-day jobs. So we have Dennis here, who will take us through the presentation of how we can use the Mojaloop system in terms of a real-life case scenario that we did for a client, and we shall be recommending integration of Mojaloop in terms of their disbursements of money. So basically the story is we've worked with the NGO, and what the NGO does is they register people on ground, less privileged people, and then they disburse money for their use. So they go to maybe the remote areas of Kenya and basically the world, but our use case is in Kenya. They go to the less marginalized communities, take their needs, take their details, and in terms of whenever there is calamities like drought, famine, they disburse money to them. So we shall show you a real case scenario of how we integrated Mojaloop and how we shall recommend Mojaloop to our clients in terms of doing money transfers to the beneficiaries. So happy to take you through the demonstration, and we shall happily answer any question that the audience have. Thanks.
Demo screen, just increase it so that people can read.
All
right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dennis from KPMG Kenya. So before I do the demo, just a little recap from what Brana said. Last year, we had the privilege of working with an international non-profit organization that has an office in Kenya. And what they do is, their mandate is to eradicate food hunger in the world. So they have an office in Kenya, and they help the marginalized community in terms of eradicating food hunger. So if there's drought and people are maybe displaced due to floods, if the internally displaced people or externally displaced people who are seeking shelter in Kenya, basically they would come and they will be hosted in camps. So the business model is if a family comes in Kenya, maybe due to, it's an externally displaced family, they will be settled in a camp, they will be given a household number, their details will be collected, there will be a representative from that family. Then once a month or once a week, depending on the frequency on how they want to disburse cash, they would give the family some money. If it's maybe due to arid areas where they experience zero to no rainfall, again, they come with this package, either food or cash, they're given to these households. So the gap that we saw is in how they disburse their cash, and we saw that Mojaloop can come in and probably rescue them. So with what you're seeing on the screen is a merchant portal. So this is basically where you would register the merchant. For this case, we are going to call the merchant A, just because we want to protect the name of our client because of confidentiality for now. So by registering a merchant, you go through the normal processes. You give your KYCs, the names, the bank accounts, the DFSPs, because a merchant is registered under DFSPs. They go through the approval channels. Once they're approved, then it's a go for them to do their cash transfers. So how we structured the model is that this nonprofit receives donations. So they would receive a donation from maybe UK doggies. Once the money comes in, they would now distribute it to their beneficiaries. So we've used a merchant payment system for the inlet, that is donations from well-wishers to the merchant. And now we've used again Mojaloop, where the money comes from the non-profit to the beneficiaries.
As Dennis was also presenting, so in terms of Mojaloop, for those who may not know, in terms of a merchant, I may be a merchant. He goes through verification processes, so they register in terms of the KYC details, their bank account, and then it goes through approval processes by the hub admin of the administrator of Mojaloop, so that they can verify that this is a valid merchant that can transact through their ecosystem. So Dennis, take it over.
All right, so what you're seeing is the donation portal. So basically this is where you'd have well-wishers, maybe for example, UK, USA, donating to the nonprofit. So it's linked to Mojaloop. So the first step is to select the person who the money is going to. In this case, for the donation portal, it's from a donor to our nonprofit. For this case, we are going to call the merchant A for confidentiality. So you give a donor account ID, you give the FSP. For now, we use this donor FSP, is the financial service provider, and then you key in the amount you want to do. So maybe say 10,000, and then this is optional, or what the money is for, and then you submit your donation.
Yes. So this is basically like a normal guy wanting to make a donation to the organization. Yeah, I want to make a donation to Mojaloop. So think of this as the way I would log into my bank account, internet banking. Having integrated with Mojaloop, I'm able to select the merchant. Now, merchant being, for example, merchant A or maybe Mojaloop, and then I enter my account details, then send the money to the merchant, which hits their bank account.
Yes, true. So below here you can see the total donations. It augments. If another donor donates some money, it's going to be augmented here for these total available donations, just to keep track of what you have.
Okay. So that is the total amount, total amount in the merchant's account, yeah? So for now, they have a total amount of 10,000.
10,000.
So that's the total amount in their bank account. So now this is a digital money, fake money that is already in their bank account. So now, having made the donation, now we can continue to the next step of the business module of that NGO that we were working with.
All right, so this is a real solution that we built for the nonprofit. It's actually working out there. This is how they get in their beneficiaries' data. They go through the approval processes within the hierarchy of the organization. And once everything is signed off, the last check is the finance persons. Once they click the button for approval within the finance, as of right now, money does not go, but we've tweaked it to incorporate Mojaloop. So once the finance approves, then Mojaloop kicks in and the money can be wired.
So what Dennis is taking us through is the normal BAU that that organization does before just sending money. So this is just basically they do programs and interventions, and people who have worked here with the NGOs, they may understand even the language that we are talking in terms of programs, what's an intervention, what's a cycle, and what's a beneficiary. So yes, Dennis. So these agents go to the camps, register people, take their details in terms of what's their house size number, what's your name, what's your date of birth, what's your mobile phone number or bank account number. So these are what are used in terms of when making payments, when enrolling, and then later on making payments after doing their business processes for sending money.
Right. So we have this preloaded data for the use case. It's somewhere in Azure buckets. So once you enroll a user, they get into an intervention. For now, we've already enrolled them. Once you enroll them, you can come on this page and you'll see them. So on this page, they go through various approvals by various hierarchies. So you can verify them, approve them. These are by different persons. Then you get them into a cycle. A cycle is now where you take, out of maybe possibly 100,000, you take the first 30,000 and you say, we are going to enroll these people in this cycle and give them money on a maybe first priority. Then you're going to take another cycle, maybe of the remaining batch of 70,000 and then disburse.
So approval is basically business as usual, trying to ascertain that the data that was collected by the agents is accurate. There's no fraud or data inconsistency in terms of enrolling those we are calling them beneficiaries to their program and cycles.
So here we've enrolled the beneficiaries into a distribution list. We've also verified them. So we are going to take you from the next step, which is assigning a transfer value. So basically that is where you give a value per household. So you may decide per household they are getting maybe $1,000. And then you allocate it. So per household it's 1,000 shillings. So you'd have somebody in management verifying them.
So that is the amount that the business has decided to give those least privileged peoples. They have decided that we'll give each individual maybe 1,000 Kenya shillings or 1,000 USD. So in the process of verifying that that amount that has been given is correct, before we make now the money transfer.
All right. That's so sorry. Verify.
So now repeat the process of attaching. We've decided that we'll give everybody here now you being beneficiaries, will give you everybody 1,000 Kenya shillings. Now this is their software. We have not yet hit the money transfer, so we are just allocating values that we'll give to each and every beneficiary now in this room. And then now after attaching each value, there's something called the payment list. We approve that each individual can get, person A can get 1,000, person B can get 2,000 or so. Now Dennis, take to the last process.
Yeah, so this is the magic button. Once you hit this is mainly allocated to the finance people. So once you hit this, it also triggers some APIs that will call Mojaloop and conduct the transfer.
So this button is now where you do the transfer, where now we communicate with Mojaloop. where now I've ascertained as the finance manager, I can send all that money, I have that money, I send them to all the beneficiaries. Now, every beneficiary, we've integrated the system now, we can integrate with the Mojaloop ecosystem now with the normal communication channels, such that now the beneficiary can get the SMS of having received the money. So as you can see now, this beneficiary called Mohammed Kilo received 1,000 from merchant A who did the transaction, and now we have that transactional reference number. This has been disbursed to all the people that were approved in the system, and everybody now can go now to the nearest agent to collect this money. So key point for us as KPMG is the bigger, as the DFSPs being one of our biggest clients and the financial sector being our stronghold, we plan to talk to now the integrator, to talk to the banks. How do they implement the Mojaloop as a switch to make their transfers? Maybe for convenience, for it being cheaper, as that being a business case decision. So that's our short demo. We are happy to take any question. Yes.
Thanks. First of all, excellent demonstration. Thank you very much indeed. I wanted to ask, are you using the Mojaloop bulk facilities, or are you issuing those payment instructions individually?
Pardon?
Sorry, are you using Mojaloop's bulk payment facilities, or are you issuing the payment instructions individually?
So, yes, there's an option for now. We used individually. We didn't want to, because there's another work stream of bulk transfer, we didn't want to go deep into the bulk transfer. Our main work stream was how to integrate merchant to merchant payments, yeah? So that's another facility of bulk payments that we can also integrate.
Excellent. In that case, I would say we are starting up a work stream to talk about making some changes to how bulk works.
Okay.
And we would very much value contributions from people who are actually interested in using the bulk facilities. So if you can get in touch with me at some point, we would very much like to have your input as to how you would like to see things working.
Great.
For guys who are coming to the community meeting for the first time, I think this is impressive. Please, let's appreciate them one more time. And this is ideally what the accelerator is about, building the skills, because you can see we are ready to go to market with such hardcore skills, right? All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. We are really, really proud of you.